Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GRP. Back at it again on a Sunday after a stupid early morning Saturday watch party podcast. Man, I was out of it for the beginning of that thing. 3 a.m. my time. I only did the main card. I saw there was a couple of other people on live throughout the whole thing, but yeah, they make money off this shit. I don't, so I wasn't about to do it. But yeah, it was an early morning, and I got a few hours of sleep beforehand, and I watched the main card live. And for the few minutes before I came into the room and went live, I watched the highlights for the prelim cards and stuff. And then I went back and watched them again a little bit later on in the day. But yeah, it was my wife asked me if it was worth it. I was like, yeah, yeah. I mean, I had fun just chilling, and I always like watching the fights and being able to really just lock in and pay attention to what's happening. No outside distractions, and 100% when I'm in this room by myself, there's no outside distractions for the most part. But when it's 3 a.m. and everyone else is asleep anyway, there's 100% no outside distractions. Like right now, I might hear some dogs barking and wonder what's going on. My cameras might be going off because of something happening outside, but that's not going to happen much at 3 a.m. So I was really just here by myself, really just paying attention. And I like doing that. I do like doing that. And, kind of play by playing it and telling my thoughts on it and whatnot. But initial thoughts on the Rampage kid. Haley, that is actually one of my first topics. So I'll give you my quick reaction. Not good. Not good at all. But I that's not saying that I completely feel like he's the worst person in the world. I feel like there's other things that were involved. If you pay attention to the entire story, the lead up to it, there's absolutely no excuse for what he did. Absolutely no excuse for what he did. And it got taken way too far, blown way out of proportion, and it 100% should not have happened that way. And I feel like the tension leading up to it and beforehand, I feel like those promoters should have known that mixing up an MMA guy who doesn't understand a work and a shoot should not have let him do that event. They should have just said, "Hey, you're welcome to sit in the front row and hang out and enjoy this show, but I don't think this is going to work this time." So those are my initial thoughts on it. I'll get deeper into it here in a minute, but 100% not good. He's very lucky that it didn't turn out differently, and we'll see what happens. There still hasn't been an update as to there was an investigation going on, is the last thing I heard, but I have not seen an update as to whether or not there's been action taken against Raja or not. So yeah, I wish that I don't. It's not that I wish that, because I've enjoyed Rampage and his son IRL streaming. His son wasn't really into it much in the beginning, but it seemed like he really started liking it, and I like the dynamic between him and Rampage. And I just feel like this really just killed a good thing for him and for, I don't know. I think Rampage might be okay. I saw reports of him possibly being banned too, but I don't see that be holding up, even if it was true. There's of course all kinds of rumors going around. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, because it was brought up and I just started getting into it, Rampage Jackson, Quentin Rampage Jackson, his son Raja Jackson was involved in an incident last night that basically, I'm not laughing at it. I'm laughing at just how crazy. Like, it's not even a laugh. It was like how do I say this? He basically power bombed, as you've seen Rampage do 1,000 times in a ring during an actual match, and knocked out a pro wrestler. He was supposed to be involved in the show, and it all got taken into a different realm of just craziness. And then after that, he proceeded to throw complete full power ground and pound punches to the head of an unconscious man. And regardless of who that was or what that person did or anything like that, I feel like there's very few instances where someone might be like, you know what, that guy had it coming. This was not one of those times. There's very few instances where I would say something like that. Steve Kim attempted murder. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could definitely be viewed that way. The lead up doesn't look good at all. The things that were said ahead of time were not good, and that's where, you know what, I mean, I can just jump into this because that's how crazy this whole thing was. And I feel like anybody that's going to jump in is going to ask about this right away. I put it in the title, not purposely. It's a description of what I was going to talk about. It was the first thing I was going to talk about. So I put it in there on purpose because it's the truth. My thoughts are here, and I'm gonna speak about it. So yeah, I mean, we might as well just jump right into it. So let's go ahead and do that. And because I do have a lot to say about it, so let's get right into it. And here's some screen caps of the video. Obviously, I can't show the video because I don't think that YouTube would like that. And on top of that, there's copyright stuff. So screen caps are good, and it's not really great to I mean, you can find it easily anywhere you look online. But the thing is this is what happened. So the story leading up to this. So with this actual night, last night, the incident that happened, can you play it 2 times speed or half speed and you're fine? Oh, yeah. So I've tried to do that a few times and I've still gotten stuck with it with copyright stuff. So I don't have good luck with that. I don't know why. I would love to play highlights of things all the time here, but I just continuously, and I'm not even a big, obviously, if you look at my subscribers, I'm not a huge, I don't have a huge channel. I don't even make money off this. So I don't know why they're worried about me, but I get hit all the time, and I've already had enough times where it got scary that I might lose my channel, and I don't want to do that. So unfortunately, I can't show you. But the gist of it is, you can see him with the wrestler on his shoulders here. He turned him around, power bombed him, just slammed him down with the back of his head, slamming against the mat. You can see that he's basically, you know, I'm surprised his arms are even up in the air in that second picture. And Raja is going to town on his face. Full punches, full windmill punches. And I appreciate that, Haley, by the way. I forgot to mention that. I appreciate you telling me that. I just, unfortunately, haven't had good luck with it. So, but yeah, that's what happened. And so the lead up to this was he was going to this event with his coach, and he was supposed to be involved in this wrestling stuff. Apparently Rampage knew about it and said, hey, I shouldn't have sent him there. I should have known better. He doesn't know. Let's see. Oh man. I don't know how this was. I shouldn't judge this comment right away, because you might be talking about the slam, which means, you know, he knows how to slam people like Rampage does. If that's what you meant, sorry for judging it ahead of time. If you meant that in the way that he's doesn't fall far from the tree because he's like his dad in a bad way, I don't believe that. Oh no, you mean his temper. Oh, okay, well, there you go. Rampage puts on a show a lot of times, and the things you've seen from Rampage is always provoked. I feel like Raja's different in the way that I feel like he has something in his head that's going on right now that led him to do things that he maybe normally wouldn't do, but even if he would, it's unexcusable, unacceptable. But the thing is he was supposed to be a part of this show, and they had an altercation ahead of time. There's videos that show it all over the place on TikTok, especially. You can find it everywhere. And the I guess the wrestler thought that he was coming in trying to get an angle on, you know, behind the scenes angle for the show. He didn't know that Raja didn't even know like what was going on, or that it was even gonna be any kind of a lead up to it. So he did the whole smashing the beer can against his face thing, and I've heard people talk about the fact that it was in the pro wrestling way where it didn't really hurt Raja or whatever, but he was still taken aback by it and was like, hey, what the hell is what's happening here? It's called, yeah, I know, yeah, it's called a work, and he asked me, are you gonna sell it? No, I understand. I didn't want to start using all the I'm not a big pro wrestling guy, honestly, and I don't know how many people are, but I didn't want to start using the words because I know some people don't understand it, and sometimes I never used to understand it until I started paying attention and realizing what it all meant. So oh, okay. So I mean, I'm laughing at this one, at this comment, because it's funny to hear that being said, but yeah, I mean, so I fully understand where you guys are coming from with these comments. I'm just coming at this at an angle of the severity of it, I guess. We can talk shit all we want and some of it's funny. I will laugh at some of it, and I fully understand what people are saying. And Zambiblor, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your name exactly, but he said Buddy ruined his life to impress 12-year-olds, and you're probably referring to the streaming portion of this, and I fully get that. People do some dumb fucking shit on stream. Like, IRL streaming has gone crazy, and people do stupid shit for clicks and likes and to impress people that don't matter. That's why I'm here. I'm just going to talk about this in the way that I want to talk about this. You know, everyone can have their opinion all they want, and I respect that. You can have your opinion. Doesn't mean I have to agree with it, and I might not. If I don't, I'm gonna tell you why, and we can just leave it at that. But I fully understand. I feel like there was something else going on here that he shouldn't even have been near this event. He should have been getting help somewhere. Honestly, he had a concussion before this for something that happened previously in a training. He said he was puking and feeling nauseous and dizzy and shit before he even got to this event. He skipped an event. I'm talking about Raja, by the way. He skipped an event earlier in the day, and he said because he just wasn't feeling right. So he shouldn't even have been here. Number one, that's first and foremost. Shouldn't have been there, and it's stupid. For him to go and even take part in this is dumb. And then what happened with the beer can. And then we see a video where there's actually a video of the wrestler. His name is Psycho. What was his name again? Psycho Sid or Psycho? Fuck, I forgot. Anyway, wrestling name. Well, I'll get to it in a minute because it'll say it in one of my other visuals. But yeah, so they actually like shook hands, and he apologized. And oddly enough, he looked like he kind of had a smirk on his face when he was apologizing, kind of like, this kid doesn't get it, you know. And I understand that because he should have known what he was walking into, and he didn't. And you know, you got all these pro wrestlers back there, just like the one guy says it himself. Everyone's always working, so everyone's working an angle for the event, or for a future event. So that's the mind frame that they're all in. Just like an MMA fighter is always in the mind frame of getting ready for the fight, but they don't take it to the extreme of always beating somebody up or fighting somebody. But when they're in a weight cut and they're already deprived of so many things, of course they're going to be upset about the smallest things. So, but it's a whole different circumstance, a whole different situation. So Raja, I feel like shouldn't even have been here. I'm not going to defend him whatsoever, because what he did was ridiculous. The other biggest part of this was that he's sitting in the crowd, still on his stream live, talking to the chat about the fact that the promoter told him you can get your get back in the cage or in the ring, and you can slam him, and you can even hit him once for real, and somebody will jump in and get you off of him right away. So Raja's saying, oh, best believe I'm gonna hit him, and I'm gonna hit him multiple times until they pull me off. The problem is I think he saw red. I mean, I think he saw red, and the way that he was hitting someone, he's an unstable crash out. He should sit a long time in jail. Don't need people like that in society. Dangerous to others and himself. Let him rot. Psycho Stu becomes disabled or died, then what? No, I 100% agree with you. Best believe I am not defending him whatsoever. Now I am I can't read, I don't know what the hell your name is. I am Otor. I don't know what the hell that means or says. I just don't know what that says. Here's the thing. Okay, everybody makes mistakes, man. His team did fail him though. Yeah, no, but everybody makes mistakes. Okay, this was a dire mistake that should not have been made, and I just feel like the thing is everyone makes mistakes. Okay, and I don't feel like I am. God damn it, I'm gonna call you. Okay, the last guy that just commented. Listen. Are you saying this in the way that you've seen other things from him that you feel like this is why he's an unstable person and should be sit in jail forever? Or is it just judging off of this? I fully understand everybody judging Raja off of just this instance, okay? That's also another grown man in there, okay? He didn't beat up some woman or a little kid. Now, this wasn't supposed to happen like this, and it was kind of a cheap shot type shit. And that's why I understand everybody being mad at him. And that's why I don't feel like it was excusable whatsoever. And the fact that he punched him that many times was fucking stupid as shit. The second he realized that when he slammed him and he was out, he should have stopped right then. And but he went in with the mind frame of what he was told, that he could hit the guy. Either way, he shouldn't have done any of that. The slam was enough. He doesn't know what he's doing in there in the cage. Doing what pro wrestlers do. They train for that shit, regardless of if anybody thinks that that's fake or not. These fools train for that shit. Okay, they train how to fall, they train how to throw people, they train how to hit people, they train how to do all of it. And so I have respect for that, because it takes an athlete and it takes a person with a brain that can actually follow directions and do what they're supposed to in order to pull off these moves and pull off the things that they do in this ring. Jail time is possible. I don't know how long. This was premeditated, and he was on stream talking about going. Yeah. Yeah, and you know, that's what I was saying earlier, is that the promoter told him he could get one in on him. I still don't think he fully understood what was being said. Where he fucked up was he said, "Oh, I'm definitely gonna hit him, and I'm gonna hit him multiple times until somebody stops me." And the problem was nobody tried to stop him, for one, not right away. The ref said stop, but he wasn't about to get in the mix of that shit. It was scary watching him windmill that guy's head like that, and it was disgusting. And I agree with all of you that it should not have happened whatsoever. The only thing I don't agree on is that I don't feel like he's the worst person in the world. I've seen people do way worse things and get away with it. I definitely think he needs to suffer some consequences, and jail time is probably going to be what it is. Rot in jail for the rest of his life? I don't think so. He made a mistake. If you got in a car accident after driving fucking 25 miles per hour over the speed limit, that's kind of the same situation. You crash into somebody, you were breaking the law, so you were doing something wrong. So that, I mean, if you're racing your car in the streets and you kill somebody or damn near kill somebody, you're doing something that you know what you're doing and you know what the consequences could be, but you continue to do it anyway. And I'm not trying to compare this to anything. I'm just trying to give an example. I don't know, man. It's a tough situation. Listen, I understand what everybody's saying. I can't. It's hard to even defend it. It's hard to go against it. Okay. I knew somebody was going to take that wrong. That's why I said, you know what? I'm going to give that one up, because no, that was a bad comparison. Okay. I apologize. It was a bad comparison. It's just, you're doing, I don't know. This issue wouldn't have stopped punching if they didn't get involved. No. Okay. So Haley, that is a great point. Would he have stopped? I don't think he, the way he was hitting him, I don't think he would have. And that's when, I guess that's why everybody feels this way. You know what? You guys are convincing me here. It's not that I wasn't feeling that way. It's just, I was thinking, listen, man, I was just trying to be an empathetic human. Okay. That's it. I wasn't trying to defend the guy. And regardless of my feelings for the guy, I'm not saying this kid should go to jail for life. Definitely not for life. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, he's got to suffer some kind of consequences. He can't get away with it because it all went bad. It all went bad. And you know what? He took the man's apology. The guy said sorry. I thought we were working. He was behind the scenes with the camera. All wrestlers. Raja crashed out because the chat calling him a punk, gross, coward. I fully understand what you're saying. I really do. I really do. And you know what? I was trying to find where I landed with the overall perspective of this, because the first thing I saw was, holy shit, he's fucked. That's the first thing I said when I saw this. And then I started looking into what else was happening, the behind the scenes. If it was a problem, why didn't he handle it in that moment? Yeah, and to be fair, they were stopping him and they were trying to get him to understand that it was a misunderstanding. And I think he felt that in the moment. Maybe he was fucking influenced by his chat. And this is the problem with fucking IRL streaming. But listen, you guys are influencing me right now. Maybe in a better way though. Maybe in a better way. Zambiblor says he wanted to sneak in like always. No, here's the dude's a fucking fighter, bro. Like that's what pisses me off though. It's like, he's a fighter. He could have fucked his shit up right then and there. He's a fighter. You saw what he did to him. That other guy couldn't have hung with him toe to toe. I promise you. I promise you that. But the thing is he saw his moment. They told him something. He misconstrued what was happening. He let the anger get in the way. He fucked up hard. So again, I'm not defending him. You guys don't have to defend your take. I'm not defending him whatsoever. And again, I was just saying, you guys are actually influencing me to think that anything that I was trying to fucking say, in the fashion that maybe we should have a little bit of compassion for the guy, you're making that go away for me. You're free to speak your mind. You're just seeing it from both sides, and that's fine. Thank you, Haley. I appreciate that. And I understand what you guys are saying, and that's the thing. And you know, everyone's gonna go hard for their opinion. And I would stand with, I'm not a person to get married to an opinion without knowing the full facts. And that's why I had empathy for the situation in the beginning. And you know, I'm just, a lot of times, unless it has to do with a woman or a child, I'm not gonna sit here and automatically be like, burn in fucking hell. I've given up that rage and hate for myself a long time ago, because it takes me to a dark place. So when you sit there and stew on how much you hate this person from the one thing you saw of them, it's not good for you. So that's why sometimes I get to the point where this will be a lesson to streamers to not, no, it won't. Unfortunately, it won't. I hate to say that, Haley, but it won't. There's been so many things that have happened in the past that I don't see anybody learning a lesson from this. The only way it'll come down hard on anybody and get a dose of reality for them is if something happens to the streaming, the places that they stream, and getting, you know, held back from things because of it. Yeah, it's not black and white, and I get that. Okay, well, thank you for seeing that. That's all I'm coming from here. You think there would be more crash outs, unfortunately? Yeah. And I feel like this is the danger of having guys that fight for a living, that have that frame of mind. Listen, this is my show that I do twice a week, talking about MMA fighters. But I talk about the sport of fighting. I'm not talking about what happens outside of the cage, and usually what happens outside of the cage happens between two fighters. So when things like this happen, it's bad for the sport. And the fact that a legend like Rampage Jackson is involved in this because it's his son, and Rampage is doing so well with streaming. Yeah, unfortunately, man, you know how many times we've seen people get the max punishment, get an example made out of them, and the shit people still get killed every day. Kids still get murdered. Women and children get injured because and somebody can get the max out of everything, and there's still another disgusting human being that'll do that to them. So this is why this is one. I mean, if this was your family member, that you wouldn't feel that way, I don't think. What would be a fair punishment? 5 to 10 plus community service if he recovers fully. I'm already hearing that he's recovered, not recovered fully. Listen, he's stable. He's fine. He has injuries. Of course, you got beat up, and you got knocked out. He has a concussion, and first thing, and then he gets the shit beat out of him while he's unconscious. So there's obviously injuries. I saw he was choking on his teeth in his own blood. What if this was your brother you crashed out on, or your son, or your dad? Well, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What if it was your brother, your dad, or your son that did this, that did the deed? That's what I'm saying. You can see it from both sides. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. Would you want your son to go away for life for a mistake he made, regardless? I mean, no, I can't even say that. I don't know, man. Listen, I told you. Brain damage, air circulation cut off. Yes, but this all happens in a fight as well. So like, that's not exactly what's going to happen to him. It could happen. It is a possibility. So I would disown my son if he did that. It's dishonorable. And yeah, I understand. I fully understand. And you know what? I don't blame you. People have disowned family members for less. So that's the thing. I'm not here to fully argue this whole thing. And you know, it's like me arguing with the world about it's like me arguing with the world about good or bad. I can't do it. I'm not the person. Me personally, looking at it from all angles, 1 year prison time, because the thought, if no one was there to stop him, that man would have died. No, and honestly, that deserves a few more than a year, honestly. So I can fully understand that one. Yeah, my biggest thing though is that this all could have been avoided, and it could have been avoided from the get-go. No misunderstandings from the get-go. Had he not shown up, he should have stayed at home and took care of his brain, because he had a concussion and he's still having symptoms from it. He should have stayed home and took care of that in the beginning. I'm thinking of it as, if he was my family, 1 year would be justified to me. Okay, that makes sense. I'm just waiting to see what they're gonna do. They say the investigation is happening. What are they actually gonna do? Because, you know, sometimes he's not like a gigantic celebrity, but he's the son of one. I don't know that they're rolling in the money to pay people to you know, get away with this. So I don't know, but what I do know is you won't see him on streams anymore. I guarantee that. And that's unfortunate, but you know, if he's going to be doing stuff like this, he definitely can't be on there. It's a bad example for the kids that do watch these streams. Depends on if the man has permanent damage or not. If his brain damage, then 1 year isn't enough. He might not ever be the same. Check up on your loved ones and set a good example for your kids. Yeah, I understand. And I feel the same way. When people have to be taken care of sometimes, and sometimes you have to have tough love in order to take care of them. And someone should have stopped him from doing anything with the concussion he had and the symptoms he was feeling. Because listen, I was watching these streams, not the streams. I was watching the clips from the streams leading up to this event. I didn't get to see the ones before the event or any of that because I wasn't watching at that time. So when all this went down and I started hearing about all of it, I went back to look at all of it. So I watch some of these streams because I've gotten involved in some of it. I mean, I do a podcast. I'm actually streaming right now. Listen, this is like streaming right now. That's what I'm doing. I'm streaming on YouTube live. Everything I'm saying right now is happening in the moment. I'm answering your questions. So, you know, I'm curious about, I like the production. I like, the content creation. I like all of that. And, you know, some might say I'm too old to be doing this shit, and that's fine. Whatever. This is, to me, a podcast though. But technically I'm streaming in real life, and and I'm here live. So, you know, things I say on here could have a bad reaction, stuff like that. And he called him right before and was making fun of him, saying, "I heard you got jumped by some dudes in tights." This was minutes before. This was I appreciate you hearing me out, just sharing my opinions, not trying to influence anybody else's. No, and I appreciate you for your interaction. I appreciate you for jumping in and talking about it. That's why I said I can't argue with the world, and I won't. So I appreciate you, and I said everybody is entitled to their opinion, whether I like it or not. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna be that guy. It's like, this is my stream, get off of it. It's like, no, man, we're just talking about it. I put it out there for people to talk about it, and so that's what I'm doing. The Rampage making it worse thing, I don't know if that was before or after, because see, here's the thing, Rampage jokes about everything. I don't know that he understood the severity of it until he fully watched the clip. And then you know what, it might have been before, I don't know. That's the thing, the timeline is so fucked up when you see all these clips. I wasn't watching it live, so you might be right. And yeah, that's gonna piss him off more. You heard him after the fact. He's walking around in the streets talking about, I'm not gonna let anybody call me a bitch anymore, I'm gonna stand up for myself. And it's like, bro, but the guy wasn't in there calling you a bitch. So that was straight rage and anger that was coming out of him at that moment, and it made it worse. So yeah, this is what Rampage said, what he released after the fact. That's a picture of him on the right, of Raja on the right hand side. You see the blood on his shirt. That's never good. He's on the phone. So Rampage said, I want to clear up the misinformation about my son Raja. Already starting not great. He said, I've been confirmed that the wrestler Psycho Stu is awake and stable. Raja was unexpectedly hit in the side of the head by him moments before Smith's match. Raja was told that he could get his payback in the ring. I thought I was a part of the show. It was bad judgment and a work that went wrong. Raja is an MMA fighter, not a pro wrestler, and he had no business involved in an event like this. I don't condone my son's actions at all. He suffered a concussion from sparring only days ago and had no business doing anything remotely close to physical contact. As a father, I'm deeply concerned with his health and his well-being and the well-being of Mr. Smith. That being said, I'm very upset that any of this happened, but my main concern now is that Mr. Smith will make a speedy recovery. I apologize on his behalf and to Kick for the situation. I'm gonna be real. I think Rampage psychologically abused his son. He farted his son's face on his 7th birthday. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, Rampage has a different kind of oh my god. If you watch their streams, here's the thing, you don't know if it's for the but you're talking about his 7th birthday. It's like, fuck. You might be right, honestly, because the way that Raja was talking after the fact sounds like there's a lifelong just pain in him from something, and whether it's from Rampage or other family members or something else that happened to him, I don't know. Hot take, I feel bad for Rampage. I feel bad for Rampage too, because he's stuck between a bad position. It's his son on one hand, but it's something really bad on the other that he can't condone, and I don't think he obviously really does. He doesn't condone it at all. So it sounds okay. So the biggest issue here though is it does seem like Raja has some trouble in his head, and I could never put my grown son down like that, bro. So yeah, I only laugh because again, Rampage jokes about everything. You have to know Rampage to know his banter and his humor. He says the most outlandish shit, man. And I don't think that a relationship like that with your son or daughter is healthy. And I've learned that the hard way myself. Sometimes I get into things with one of my daughters who likes to talk a lot of shit, and sometimes you find yourself just talking shit back, and then you realize that's my daughter, I can't do that. And we're just saying words, you know, and we're laughing and saying we're joking, but you know, I don't feel like she's joking sometimes. You know what I mean? But it's all good. It's all good, man. You know, kids and kids and their parents have tough relationships from the get-go. There's very few kids that won't. There's very few kids that won't. Oh my god, this motherfucker is back. Oh god. Okay, one person I would love to just have go away and stay away is this guy. because he's a fucking menace. But it's fine. You can stay here. I don't care. Listen, man, I got some smelling salts here. I'll wake right up and. Oh fuck. Anyway, what's your issue? Are you talking to me or this fucking this guy? Your daughter would turn your light to approach us admitted. Oh god. Okay, anyway, back to a stiff breeze would, you know, knock you oh man. Anyway, so yeah, I exactly. I don't know, man. This is tough. So here's Psycho Stu is his wrestling name. The promotion put out a statement as well saying, first and foremost, our thoughts and prayers are with our brother, Mr. Stuart Smith, Psycho Stu, as he remains a priority and we are monitoring his well-being. What was supposed to be a planned and agreed upon wrestling spot turned into a selfish, irresponsible act of violence against Mr. Smith. The egregious act is reprehensible and never should have occurred. In the 17 years of operation of NockX Pro Wrestling Academy, there's never been anything as heinous take place such as this, and we apologize to our patrons and fans. And then someone's tweet here says, the pro wrestler Rampage Jackson attacked was a former army vet suffering from PTSD and relied on pro wrestling as a way to escape his personal struggles. And yeah, I mean, honestly, that makes things oh, now you want to ask questions that actually mean something to the show. Oh man. Aaron Pico, do you think he ever goes to decision? I don't know, man. Aaron Pico, I don't have any thoughts on Aaron Pico right now. I'm kind of focused on this, but all right. Okay, so yeah, so I mean the promotion obviously, yeah, they have their words. It's just, here's the thing, man. This whole situation seemed funky. I like Pico, but he needs some time. I've just watched it again. Right before he crashed out, he said, my dad can't never call me. Oh shit, did he? They did it after the stream. Watch Heels Advocates video. It laced out timeline. Okay. I like Pico, but he needs some time. Yeah, I think he got rushed in a bit, but you know what? He's been knocked out a bunch before he even got to the UFC. So unfortunately, I feel like his chin is a bit sus at the moment. And I don't know, King Tersey, what's up? Welcome back, Tersey. Appreciate you for jumping in. But yeah, unfortunately, Pico, I feel like his chin is a little suspect right now. So do I ever watch Ryzen? I do, just not a lot. Ryzen's one of those offshoot ones that I like it for the fact that it kind of reminds me of Pride, but also it's tough to get into because of, you know, the setting, the times, a lot of fighters that people don't know much. I watched it when Daniel James, who I interviewed a while back, fought there. But yeah, I like it. It's just not something I can get into all the time. Was so confident in Waldo, but Sergey showed up. Yeah, man, I can't believe I can't believe that one went down like that. It was actually an entertaining fight. Pico will die before he ever lets a fight go to decision. I respect that. I mean, that's cool, man. It's just, it's not good for his head or his career, honestly. Michelle Pineda cooked. And Zane, come on. Oh man, I can't believe Johnny Walker got that win, bro. That's crazy. They always go to war in Ryzen. That's what I like. Yeah, and the huge dude, their fucking production and walkouts are insane. I love it for that, and for, you know, with Pride, that was the thing with Pride too. Yeah, okay, man. Sure. Walker shot the Hamza takedown, then got mounted. Yeah, that was dumb. That was a dumbass way to start the fucking fight. Yeah, it's cool. I don't fucking do it, so it is what it is. Whatever. I don't think you'll ever get it. You might have more brain damage than they do, honestly. But anyway, to wrap this up, and we'll get into talking about the UFC Shanghai. To wrap this up, obviously, bad situation, bad decision making. I think I'm hoping for the best for Psycho Stu. You know, I feel like he was a victim of circumstance. There was misunderstandings in there. He thought he was doing something that he was there to do, and it was a bad move. He shook the guy's hand and said he was sorry. That should have been the end of it, honestly. Yeah, he definitely is. Yeah, and he didn't deserve that whatsoever. And to have it go down like that, it's not good at all whatsoever. And the thing is now we just wait and see what happens to Raja. We wait and see if people are trying to say that it was staged. I was like, did you not watch the video? Yeah, this fucking stupid shit of people saying it's staged is ridiculous. That's worse than saying certain fights are staged. It was obviously not. Otherwise, I mean, come on, man. If it was fucking staged, we wouldn't have the investigation. We wouldn't have all of this uproar and people just fucking going nuts about it. And sure, that would be the craziest work of all time, if you want to speak in wrestling terms. But nah, he didn't cover his head at all. Take advantage of him. Yeah, man. He knocked him out with the slam. The slam for one. If this was a work of any sort, after that slam, Raja should have known that he was done, and he should have never taken another swing. He should have walked away with his hands up and been like, hey, yeah, I just beat the pro wrestling guy and I came in here as a guest. People don't fake medical reports. LAP. Yeah, exactly. So, you know, when it comes down to it, he should have fucking known right after that. And if it was a work, he would have never gone as far as he did. To punch the guy 22 times when he's out cold, can't do it, man. You can't even do it once. Because not in that situation, not in that circumstance, not in any. Honestly, I fucking hate when I see that happen in regular fights. You want to yell at the scream and tell the ref to fucking do his job. And there was a ref here. I wanted to say, but there was no ref in this one. There fucking was. But the thing is, the ref usually knows what's supposed to happen. And if it goes off kilt a little bit, it's only by a little bit. Nothing like this. That guy was in shock. You could tell. He said stop. He's waving his hands. There's nothing he could have done. Raja asked Chad to donate 50 to knock him out. He's cooked. Yeah, see, all the talk leading up to it is what's gonna fucking, I mean, the act alone was bad enough, man, and all of the shit leading up to it is what's gonna just add that extra nail in the coffin, dude. Fuck, can't do that in MMA either. You'd face repercussions if you pushed the ref off and kept hitting. Yeah, we've seen it happen before. We've seen Paul Daly get banned from the UFC for life for hitting Josh Koscheck after the bell pushed the ref. We've seen other guys get cut for pushing the ref. Tony Ferguson, please win next week. Oh my gosh, man. If he can't beat Saul Poppy, that better be his fucking, that better be his sign that he needs to just hang him up. But also Saul Poppy's younger and doesn't probably have the damage to his head that Tony Ferguson. Yeah, Tony Ferguson is fighting, is in the trenches, bro. Yeah, Saul Poppy can crack, and that's the thing, man. That's what I was about to get to. Saul Poppy can actually fight now. In the past, he was a goofy fuck, but he can fight now, man. I've seen him knock people out. It's crazy. But yes, Tony Ferguson is fighting in the MVP card not MVP, Misfits Boxing next week. So yeah, that's nuts. Is it next week? I don't even remember when it is. The MVP card is next week, right? No, fuck, I'm lost. I'll get to all that on Thursday. So if you want to hear anything about these upcoming events, I know Dirty Boxing is happening next week as well. That's Jairzinho Rosenstruck, who used to be in the UFC, is fighting in Dirty Boxing for the inaugural heavyweight championship. He was supposed to be fighting Rob Perez, who I've also interviewed before, if you want to go and check out my interview with him. he was supposed to be fighting for the championship, but he got injured pretty badly. He was like having to use a walker to walk around. I'm not exactly sure what all happened with him. I read up on it, but I don't have that in my brain right now. So unfortunately, he's not able to fight. So Rosenstruck is continuing on with the fight and fighting a different opponent for the inaugural heavyweight title for DBX at DBX 3. If Muay Thai Tony would probably dominate, but it's boxing. Yeah, maybe so, honestly. Hamza Boris Shemaev, what's up? Luke Rockhold and Saul Poppy will lose. Yeah, because Luke Rockhold is fighting Darren Till. That is Misfits Boxing, and that is this week coming up. For some reason I thought it was next month. Maybe. Well, I guess we're at the end of the month. Who the fuck knows? I'll figure it out, and I'll make sure I add it in to Thursday's show if it is coming up this week. But yeah, Luke Rockhold is fighting Darren Till. Craziness. And then we got Tony Ferguson fighting Saul Poppy, which is the craziest shit to hear and see, but it's happening. So we'll see what comes of that. I've never seen UFC is off. Yeah, exactly. UFC is off next week, so at least we have those matches. Yeah. That's why I said on Thursday is my next show that I usually do the preview for the upcoming UFC fights. And since there is none next week, I will be covering these other events that are happening, DBX and whatever else is happening. If that Misfits fight is happening next week, I just can't. I'm drawing a blank on it right now. But Haley, if you sound like you actually follow this stuff, so I'll believe you on that one. And I will definitely add it into the show, and I'll preview it coming up on Thursday. So yeah, we'll stay, and I appreciate all the interaction and the opinions and stuff, whether I agree, disagree, fully, any of that stuff. Yeah, it's August 30th, and it's, oh, cool. Tersey, man, my man, just helping me out, getting my back, always checking on stuff for me. I appreciate you. So yeah, I'll add that in on Thursday, but yeah, I appreciate all the interaction and the opinions and the back and forth. You know, that's what I you know, I kind of wanted that just to see where everyone else is landing, and I feel like we got something out there, you know what I mean? I'm just on a human level interaction, you know, talking about things. That's what you got to do. It is a podcast, and I don't have anybody in here with me. And regardless, I would still want to hear your guys' take on it. So I appreciate that. Till or Rockhold, can we get a poll? Yeah, I'm saying Till's gonna win that one 100%. What do we call you, GRP? Yeah, I mean GRP's good. As far as for the show or nickname, I'm Big E. I mean, that's my name's Eric, but you know, people call me Big E. That's what I've always said my name is under podcasting. So you can call me Big E, or the show, yeah, you can call GRP for sure. There you go, Tersey. I usually have that up on the screen, but on this here, I'll show you. I'll go back real quick. Right here, you'll see it. It'll pop up in just a second. I usually have that going. Oh man, maybe I don't have it going right now. Crap, I think I turned it off on accident. Anyway, I'm glad I know that now, because I can turn it back on. But yeah, thanks for the interaction on all that. And yeah, we'll move on to UFC Shanghai, and we'll get to talking about what happened yesterday morning for us in the US, but in Shanghai it was prime time over there. So getting to this, man, Walker versus Zhang, whichever you want to call it. I know we call it Zhang Wei Li, and so yeah, Zhang Ming Yang Zhang. It's hard with the Asian fighters and their names, because they say it a certain way, we say it differently, and then blah blah blah. It's tough. I'm not a linguist, so I try to say it the best I can, and yeah, it is what it is. I'll keep going with that. Anyway, Johnny Walker, whew, I was not expecting that out of him. Zhang was on a 3-fight win streak. More than that if you count outside of Hamza. Crazy, he's only 27. Yeah, no doubt. Because it feels like he's been around for a minute. If you're talking about Johnny Walker, right? But yeah, it's we've just seen him drop so many fights in so many different ways. I mean, the funky knockouts. Oh, Zhang is only 27. Okay. I was about to look it up because I couldn't remember. But yeah, he is only 27. Holy shit. Well, he definitely has more time. And I mean, one loss, usually we have to sit and watch. Yeah, Johnny Walker's 33, so he's not that far off. But Zhang's got plenty of time to bounce back, but that's always what I look for, is what's going to happen when he comes back from getting, you know, his first loss in the UFC. It's not his first loss in his career, so he's dealt with losing before. But man, he was on such a streak, he probably forgot what it's like to lose. Because I think he was on like a crazy run of wins. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 wins in a row. He looks 37. How's he only 27? Which is strange because, yeah, I mean, I won't say that, but Walter Walker is promising for heavyweight. Yes, Walter Walker definitely could be one of those guys that is a breakout star. Good BJJ for sure. And that's something great for a heavyweight to have, is to have a good ground game, because you know a lot of times the heavyweights get to the ground and it's just boring and they get tired, and that's when they use the ground to try to Asians usually look much younger. He's got the reverse. I'm glad you said it, Tersey. That's what I was thinking. I was just like, maybe I shouldn't say it. Oh, Christian Garcia, what's up, bro? I got cooked by Walker. Yeah, man, my CST picks for the week, I had every pick right except for the fucking main event. I think a lot of people were hitting up Zhang thinking he was gonna win for sure. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of parlays got busted. I'm sure a lot of people's picks got busted. We had one guy at CST that picked all of them correct because he picked Walker. Oh man, and we heard some stupid comments talking about us not knowing shit about fighting, and it's like, who tell me that at least 90 to 95% of the guys fucking, or 90 to 95% of the fans thought that actually know anything about fighting thought that like Zhang was gonna win. I don't know. Fuck, man. I'm sorry, Christian. I'm sure he lost some money. You probably could have won some good money if he would not have stolen that one. Ortega was a shell of himself. 100%. 100%, because Ortega is stubborn, and that's all I keep hearing about him. And you can kind of see it in him. I don't know if you ever watch interviews with him. There's been a few little, like, I wouldn't say shows or documentaries, but a few videos that show behind the scenes stuff with him, and he just seems like that type of dude that's just fucking stubborn, doesn't want to change his ways. And you know what, I'm Mexican, I understand that. Mexican dudes have that problem, but if Ortega had decent stand-up, he would have been champ for sure. I mean, think about what he did to Volkanovski with getting him in that guillotine, and I mean, if Volk wasn't such a fucking savage, he would have been the champ. But Volk is a badass, and regardless of the losses he's taken, he's the champ again for a reason, because he's a fucking badass. So yeah, I mean, Ortega was that close, but yeah, if his stand-up was better, he's a punching bag on the feet, bro. I hate to say that because I like Ortega a lot. I followed him for a while, and I've always liked him, but I started just seeing some things, man. He doesn't get finished a bunch. I think the only finish he actually has was to injury. I don't know that if anybody's actually finished him on the feet, which is crazy because that means he's crazy durable. But like, what the fuck? Why do you have to get hit that much? Like, get some fucking head movement, man. I just, he always has his hands up, but somehow he may be the only Mexican without hands. Oh my God.
Bruh.
I'm laughing at that because that shit is fucking funny. Because yeah, people talk about Mexican boxers and Mexican fighters all the time, and yeah. Okay, Ray Allen, I'll give you that one because I heard that as well, that his again, bro, you see, I'm sorry, I'm downing on myself here, but yeah, just the weight cut issue, that's tough. He has to be more professional than that. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Putting yourself in that position, especially when you're going overseas, you should have already had some kind of good regimen going to get yourself down to a specific weight that would make it easier for you when you get there. On top of the weight fluctuation during traveling, that's all you ever hear about with these fighters. So what the fuck are you thinking? And that's why people are pissed at him. That's why I'm sure the promotion's pissed at him, and he's lucky he got to continue to fight. Who would you match Sterling up with next, Pico or Allen? Ugh, not Pico, Allen. Ellen 100%. Actually, that looks like Ellen looks like he's calling for that. Ortega was born in California, bro. He's not. Okay, shut the fuck up. You got to be shitting me. I was born in Tucson. So what is that? I mean, I was born in Arizona. So what? You can't be that dense. Anyway, yeah, so he's just stubborn, man. And when the girl that, you know, your ex can be just talking shit though. You're fucking dumb. Whatever, bro. You can think what you want. Whatever. All right. So, where was I? Yeah. So, I mean, that's Tracy Cortez said that he's hard-headed, basically. Yeah, you said that twice already. I hate to break it to you, but you stutter. All right. You're like a broken record. You say the same shit all the time. Anyway, yeah, so Tracy Cortez said the shit that she said, and that sounded like it was coming from a state, a point of frustration. Like, this motherfucker never learns. Look at what he keeps doing. And you know, maybe that was the rift in their relationship. He fucking dropped the ball with that one. I'll tell you that right now. I'm not gonna argue this with you, man. You can be whatever you want to be. Stupid is what you are right now. So you continue to be that. I hope you enjoy it. You sound like you're having fun with it. So yeah. Anyway, Tracy Cortez is yeah, she sounds like she comes from a spot that she actually knows. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. The first fight of the night, we had so we had Yurin Satibaldiev versus Dair Nagarzai. Performance of the night bonus here, which I was kind of surprised on. It was almost like they were like, hey, for sure, Terzi. I was surprised that they gave him the performance of the night bonus. I mean, it was a first round finish by Ezekiel choke, which doesn't happen often. But the thing is there was a few other knockouts that I kind of thought they would have given the performance of the night bonus to. Oh man. So yeah, and so like kind of like the Yiza Weston Wilson fight, I thought would have got a bonus, but they gave it. It's almost like they were like, hey, we had a good submission. It's a somewhat rare submission, so let's give him the performance of the night bonus, and that's fine. But I was just kind of surprised by that one. But it was a damn good. It was a damn good choke. Well, that explains a lot. So yeah, Yurin Satibaldiev gets the win here by Ezekiel choke in the first round over Nurgazai. Right on, bro. Appreciate you. Just not like Raja. So yeah, that was the first fight of the night, man. And I was like, when I woke up and saw the outcomes of the prelim fights up to the point where I was awake, I was like, damn, I missed some good ones. Next up we had Su Young Yu versus Long Xiao. This was a fucking banger, and this was a banger because it went to a decision, and I'm surprised this didn't get like fight of the night, surprisingly, or a performance of the night bonus or something. But it went to unanimous decision. These fools were fucking throwing, especially in that last round. Long Xiao was basically throwing nothing but elbows for the last, like, I don't know, 20 seconds or so, 30 seconds. I saw Mikkel got knocked out and went back to bed, not gonna lie. Oh shit. Yeah, oh Jesus, Pineda. Fuck, man, I don't know about that guy. We'll get to that one here in a minute, but yeah, this one was a banger. I saw multiple different highlights from this fight, and I was like, I need to remember to go back and watch this whole fight, because the last fucking round was insane. But it was a good one. So it's a unanimous decision win for Su Young Yu. gets the big win over Long Zhao in a hell of a fight. Next up, we had the one I was talking about a minute ago, Yiza versus Weston Wilson. And this one, that fucking that straight right hand to a left hook was crazy. That left hook that landed directly on the chin. Wow. That's all I gotta say. I missed this card too early for me. Yeah, it's not normal for me to wake up and watch it. I'll usually watch it whenever I wake up. But it was 3 o'clock in the morning here, and I woke up and did a watch party. I don't know. It was fun to do it, but it was tough. So yeah, this combination though was sick, and this ending 37 seconds into the first round. This is why I thought, because this was the fastest finish of the night, and to get a knockout like that was insane. So that's why I was like, how did they not get like how does Yiza not get a fucking performance of the night bonus, considering the knockout that he just had? 37 seconds into the first round, Weston Wilson got cooked, and yeah, it was a crazy one. But next up, we had Kyle Dawkins and Michel Pereira, which is what Boris was talking about. And man, Dawkins though looked so good in this fight. 43 seconds into the first round, just 6 seconds longer than it took Yiza, and Dawkins gets the performance of the night bonus, which is kind of crazy. And but yeah, he gets this overhand right to land on Pereira, knocks him down. And I swear, when he was doing the ground and pound, when he was on the ground and ground and pounding him out, he knocked him out and then woke him back up, because Pereira winds up jumping up after the ref called the fight, and he's jumped up and almost started wrestling the ref. And I was like, holy shit, Bisping always making me laugh when he's wrong. Yeah. He seems to be wrong a lot too, and that's what makes it more fun. Bisping's, I don't know, I'm surprised that he's still on the call for any fights, honestly. Rogan too, they look at things subjectively. I've seen a lot of hate for Rogan's commentary lately, and I guess I understand it. I just feel like it hasn't changed much. I just think that all of a sudden people just see things a little bit differently and start realizing, I don't know, because Rogan was way more raw in the beginning, because he could be. He does have tenure. Yeah. Back in the day, he was a lot more raw because he could be. I'm sure that he's matured, and they probably also have told him, hey, you got to chill on that a little bit. Now we're getting a little too big time for that shit. But you still get crazy shit being said on the mic regardless. And look at that dude from that ex-NFL player that just won on the Contender Series, said some fucking crazy shit on the mic. But they are on ESPN Plus, so I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, I guess a lot of people just don't enjoy Rogan's commentary anymore. I think they see the fact that he's a fucking 100 millionaire plus, close to a damn billionaire at this point. But I don't know, maybe they just see he's too rich for this shit, so they just see it as easy way to, you know, to just talk shit about him, basically. Let's get Dan Hardy back in the booth. All he did was go, yeah, that was strange, man. I think he had some beef with some people in the back, and I think that's what got him there. That was just the last straw, and I'm not defending what they did to him at all, because I like Dan Hardy, and I think he probably he deserves more than a lot of people to be there and be back on commentary. He does a good job for, what is it, PFL now that he's doing? Is it PFL? I think it is, that he's doing commentary for. But I mean, either way, he's still on the job. He's still doing things. But yeah, it would be nice to have him back in the UFC. I enjoyed him as a fighter, and I thought he was good. He's passionate, man, and when he was commentating, and he was looking out for the well-being of a fighter. So I don't know why that was so bad. He's a fighter though too, but so is Herb Dean. Herb Dean fucking fought in the past too, so he can handle his own. Let them handle it like men. You know what I'm saying? Let him fucking argue about it. If it comes to blows, then you got to figure something out. But it didn't have to go that way. It was tough. It sucks to see Dan Hardy get treated like that, but I don't know. I've heard mixed stories about Dan Hardy, how he is in his personal life and how he treats people, but those are just rumors. So I don't know. To me, I think he's a good dude, and yeah, it would be cool to see him back in the UFC. I don't think he would want to be though. with the way they treated him. So anyway, Michel Pereira, fucking 46 seconds into the first round, and he gets, gets knocked out. TKO'd and then basically knocked out and woken back up. So yeah, Kyle Dawkins with the big win, and Michel Pereira, I think, was coming off a loss, so that drops him down. He was coming off 2 losses. Now he's on a 3-fight losing streak, which I don't know that he's lost that many in a row before. No, he's only lost 2 in a row before. You had to dig way deep into his days in Brazil to find 3 losses in a row. So this makes 3 in a row for him here. 2 TKOs and 1 decision. So he's been TKO'd twice in the past 3 fights, which is tough. And the last fight he won was against Ihor Pretoria, where he got a performance of the night bonus. So yeah, moving on, we have another pretty damn good fight that happened. Rong Zhu versus Austin Hubbard. And Rong Zhu just, he did his thing in this fight. Austin Hubbard is a tough dude, but he has such a back and forth record. He's 16-10 overall. So it's always tough when you have double digits in wins and losses. It's got to be something like 90-10 for it to feel okay. He's never been stopped on his feet, though. I'll give him that much. I'll give him credit for that. But this puts him on a 3-fight losing streak as well. All decisions. So the 2 before this were split decision losses. So at least they were close, but Rong Zhu definitely got the best of him here. And he hasn't had a win since April of last year. And then before that, he lost. So just back and forth. His longest win streak was out of the UFC, where he had 4 fights in a row. That was in the near past. His amateur bouts bring him to more wins, which led him to the pros, I'm sure. But he's been fighting a long time. He was in the Ultimate Fighter twice. He was in that comeback season a couple years ago. But anyway, Rong Zhu gets the best of him here. Unanimous decision win. And that leads us to yet another KO win, which was impressive as hell. And I wasn't expecting this one. All right. So Charles Johnson versus Loner Kavanaugh. Everyone seemed big on Loner Kavanaugh for sure. It was just one of those. Charles Johnson is so back and forth with everything. He was on a pretty big. He was on a 4-fight win streak before he lost to Tamirov by unanimous decision. And for some reason, everybody just shit on him. He had a 3-fight losing streak before that 4-fight win streak. So I guess that's why people are back and forth on him. He's had a few fight of the night, performance of the night, and now another performance of the night bonus in his past few fights since last year. So he's only got the 1 loss in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's 5-1 in his past 6 with three bonuses in the out of those 6 fights. So that's pretty damn good. Loner paid the price for a small mistake. Yeah, he paid the ultimate price, man, because he got knocked out flat. And I wasn't expecting that at all. I was kind of thinking Loner was going to come out and do something big. He was 2-0 in the UFC. He had won his fight in the Contender Series. He hadn't lost since 2015. He's had some no contests and draws, but he's been winning since then. And now he gets a loss. So fuck. Oh man, I don't know why, but that seems real funny to me. Yeah, Loner Kavanaugh gets knocked out, man, and he got knocked out flat on his back. As you can see in that right picture. Charles Johnson came out with the fucking speaking an entirely different language and actually sounded like he knew what he was doing, which was crazy. I didn't enjoy his hair much though. I think his hair is insane. I don't know what it is. He's got a patch in the back of his head, and then on top of that he braided it. Like, what the fuck are we doing? It's a weird one. But yeah, it was a good fight. And I mean, this one was 4 minutes and 35 seconds into the second round is when he got that TKO win. And that dropped Kavanaugh from undefeated to he's one of the many that have dropped an undefeated record this year. There's been a lot of them. So I think that's why a lot of people were high on Kavanaugh as well, considering he was undefeated in his pro career. I did say he hadn't lost since 2015, but that was in amateurs. So yeah, it was a fun fight for sure. And that was one of the ones I was like, the first thing I saw when I woke up was that fight. I was like, oh shit, it had literally just happened. So then we get to the last prelim fight, and that was Gage Young versus Mahashate. And this one I was kind of catching the last bit of it. It didn't seem like the best fight in the world. It went to unanimous decision, and Gage Young gets the win, which a lot of people weren't expecting that. I heard nothing but Mahashate getting the win from everyone talking about picks and stuff. But that gets Gage Young his first UFC win. So he's now 1-1. He had a previous loss to Evan Elder by unanimous decision. And Mahashate was coming off of a loss. So this puts him at a two-fight losing streak is what I'm trying to say. With a loss to Nicholas Mota by unanimous decision as well back in November of last year. Let's see, his last win was by split decision, so it's been close, man. I don't know why people were so high on Mahashate, considering maybe it's just his fighting style that people like, but in his last 5 fights he's 1-4, which is tough. He got 1 TKO loss to Borshev Slavaklaus. That was back in 23. Other than that, they've all been decisions, even his win. So it's tough, man. He's gonna have to do something to turn that around and get out of this 2-fight losing streak he's in. And the fact that he's had so many losses in the past 6 fights, it's 5 fights, it's crazy. So that brings us over to the main event, or the main card. God damn it, I say that all the time. So the main card, we had a controversial one here with Tailaki Nurajai versus Kiefer Crosby. So I wasn't expecting Crosby to do a whole lot in this one, just because he's a weird fighter. He seems like he can do a lot, and he just doesn't show a lot. I think he was 0-2 already going into this fight in the UFC. No, I'm sorry. He was 1-2 going into this fight. Now he's on a 3-fight losing streak. No, that was a boxing match. So yeah, he was 0-2. 0-2 going into this one. And now he's 0-3 in the UFC, which is tough. I mean, it's bad enough to have 3 fights in a row that you lose, and then to have that be the only 3 fights in the UFC. I don't know if he gets another chance. We'll have to wait and see. But the controversial part of this fight was Nurajai getting this knee to the face, as you can see here, with Crosby having 1 knee down. That was how it was. He had 1 knee down, 1 knee up. Nurajai, I thought, was going for the chest, but he connects with the face, and that's what happened. They didn't call the fight, but they took, I think, 2 points away from him, and he just basically turned it around and said, fuck that, I don't need 2 points. The problem is Crosby did something stupid. They stopped the fight. Okay, it's an official timeout. When that happens, when there's an illegal blow, you get 5 minutes. I kind of blame the ref a little bit on this one too, though, because you get the 5 minutes and you should take the full fucking 5 minutes. But the problem is Crosby didn't take the full 5 minutes. The ref asked him after less than a minute, maybe right around the minute mark. I could be wrong, but somewhere in there, he asked him, hey, are you okay? Are you good to continue? And he said, yes. And then they start the fight back up. And it's like, what the fuck? You have 5 minutes, man. Take your fucking 5 minutes. Shake it off. Take your time. Collect yourself. It's still the first round. You're not giving the other guy time to recover, because he ain't recovered from nothing. You're the one getting your ass whooped right now. So let him fucking chill out and cool off while you're over here trying to collect yourself and gather yourself and come back, maybe not fresh, but a little fresher than you were. Less than a minute, or somewhere around a minute, the motherfucker says he's good to go. The ref starts the fight, and there he is, getting finished seconds later. It was stupid. So 3 minutes and 33 seconds into the first round, fucking Nurjai drops him, ground and pounds him out with elbows, and gets a TKO win. I mean, Kiefer Crosby was a plus 400 underdog as it was. Nurjai was minus 520 favorite. It was a crazy, so we knew this outcome was going to happen, but the problem is you get 2 points taken away for an illegal blow, and then your opponent doesn't take the amount of time he's allotted. Like, that was just a stupid ass mistake. And if I were him, and when the ref said, okay, let's go, I would have been like, no, I get my time. Let me have my fucking time. Like, don't just jump back in there when you just got kneed in the fucking head. It was dumb. I didn't understand it. It made zero sense to me. That was a big mistake on Crosby's part. I don't think he would have won anyway, but I feel like he would have had a little better of a chance and maybe gotten out of the first round to collect himself even more had he taken that time. But, you know, sense of urgency for Nurjai, maybe he just had that killer instinct in him already. So it's hard to take that time in the moment. I get that, man, but where's his team at? You know what I mean? Where's his coaches? Why wouldn't, I don't know. I feel like it was just a missed opportunity to recover and really, you know, collect yourself. People take longer time for less. And refs have left them to take that time for less. You know, a grazing shot to the nuts, you know, where it just hit the cup and you're like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and recover here and take the fucking 4.5-5 minutes. And he didn't, and he actually had an infraction against him that was completely illegal and obvious. So I don't know, man, that's just my take on it, but I get it. In the moment, you're just amped up, ready to go, and you want to get your get back. So maybe that's what he was thinking. So I get it 100%. Like, it's just a mistake, though. I think in the end, it was a mistake that cost him the fight. While I still feel like he wouldn't have won anyway. I guess it's a moot point. Next up, we had Sumadarji versus Kevin Borjas. And I heard a lot of people going against Sumadarji in this one, which I was surprised by, because all of us at CST, Combat Sports Today, by the way, I collab with them a lot. That's how I get my fighter interviews. If you're new here and you haven't heard about Combat Sports Today, you can check out their YouTube channel as well. Follow them on all the socials if you want updates on all the news. They give updates on everything, including Ryzen, for whoever was asking me about Ryzen earlier, as well as every other combat sport out there, basically. They'll give you updates on everything. So follow me, but you can also follow them. And yeah, I collab with them all the time. They do their CST staff picks, and I'm involved in that. So you can see me make my picks with them. And they usually collab with me on Instagram. So you'll see it on my Instagram and theirs. Go check it out. A bunch of good guys. I like them a lot. I went to see Roberto De Souza in the UFC. Yeah, man. He did his big one in fucking PFL. That's for sure. And winning that championship. I mean, was he not in the UFC before though? Are we talking about the same guy? This is what the fuck was his nickname? Shoeface, right? Let me see. Am I thinking of the same guy? I know who you're talking about, but I'm just trying to figure out if it's the same guy, because I hadn't heard from him in a while. I'm looking it up right now just to see if I'm right about that. I'm talking about the BJJ guy from Ryzen. You're thinking about, oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, that is who I was thinking about, was Junior. Okay, cool. Yes, all right. So I had them mixed up. Thank you for that. You saved me some time. So you're the Ryzen guy. That's right. Sorry, just talking a lot about a bunch of different shit. But Roberto De Souza. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that would be dope. I mean, honestly, I'm trying to remember who that is 100%, like, in my head, but I can't fully remember right now. I'll look him up again. I'm sure as soon as I see him, I'm gonna know who you're talking about. Souza did win a lightweight tournament in Japan. Okay, I don't follow Ryzen enough, man. I need to. They put on some great events. You know, that Bellator versus Ryzen event was pretty badass too. Back before Bellator went away. Bellator got the best of Ryzen in that one, but they just yeah, they have all the ex-UFC guys and stuff, so it was a little bit of a different kind of thing. But it was a badass event, the way that they put it all through, the production of it, and the fact that they did the like Spartans versus samurai type thing. That shit was dope. But anyway, back to this. So Sumadarji gets the win by unanimous decision over Kevin Borjas, and yeah, that's who I picked. I mean, I just kind of felt that Sumadarji had a little bit of a better chance over Borjas. Borjas is one of those guys. Hey, Sumadarji lost to Charles Johnson in his the last time he lost. His last fight was a win over Mitch Raposo. Man, he was on a 3-fight losing streak before he got that last win before this one. But Kevin Borjas, I've seen some good stuff out of him. Reynaldo Rodriguez was his last fight that he won, but he had 2 losses before that. One to Joshua Van, which that's a tough fucking fight. We've seen what Joshua Van has come to and done since then. And this was in 23 when he lost to Joshua Van. But he also lost to Alessandro Costa by TKO. But he went to decision with Joshua Van. That was a tough fight for him. And you know, but Joshua Van's a badass. So anyway, that's why I was looking at, you know, Sumadarji to get this win, and he pulled it out with the unanimous decision. Next up, we get to the heavyweight and the crazy fight we were talking about earlier. Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Sergey Pavlovich. And yeah, I was like, this could turn out to be a sleeper fight. Either a sleeper as in it could be a really good fight, no one's expecting it, or a sleeper fight as in I'm fucking falling asleep because it's too early to watch this boring ass shit. Because we've seen Pavlovich in some fights that aren't the best, and Acosta will tie you up sometimes and it doesn't go anywhere. So you kind of have those two things working against you with this fight. But I was hoping for the best, and we got a pretty damn good fight out of it. Pavlovich was coming off a win over Rosenstruck, who's, like I said earlier, fighting for the heavyweight title at DBX, Dirty Boxing. But he had a couple losses before that to Volkov and Tom Aspinall. And then he was on a good win streak before that, where he got a lot of finishes. But, you know, we just see there's some times where his fights get a little sleepy. Seems Sergey just wants to win now. Yeah, and that's fucking great, because I feel like he has the power to win a lot. He just has to find the openings, and it seems like he gets frustrated at times and doesn't know what to do and gets stuck. And with Acosta, he was like a former fucking pitcher in baseball or some shit, like high level. And so he throws crazy overhand rights, and he's got some power behind it because, you know, throwing a fucking baseball for a long time. I used to play baseball, but I never really put those two together, thinking being a pitcher or some shit and throwing a baseball all the time would correlate with throwing a punch. But it makes sense now that I've seen it being said. You know, I just never put it together like that. But yeah, he was on a crazy win streak. Pitchers have much punch power for sure. Yeah, because while that motion, you know what I mean? It's like an overhand right, unless you're like one of those submarine pitchers or sidearmers, which I never understood. That shit hurts to throw that way. But before this, he was on a pretty good, before his loss to Pavlovich, he was on a good win streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-fight win streak. But look at his fights. He had Lucas Brzeski, which that's a good win. TKO, a good TKO win for him there, first round. Andrei Arlovsky, which he caught him at the tail end of his career. That one's tough because in MMA, Andrei Arlovsky hasn't shown a whole lot. He was a lot of lose, win, lose, win, you know, that type of shit. Robelis to Spain is a fucking beast, but in the UFC, he wasn't shit. I don't even know that did he win a fight in the UFC? I don't even know if he won a fight in the UFC. He won one, his first fight. It was a first round knockout, which we thought, okay, cool. He brought the power that he was known for before getting into the UFC. And then he goes 0-2 after that with losses to Waldo Cortez Acosta and Austin Lane, and he just looked bad. He didn't look the best in that first fight either, but he caught him with a big punch and got the TKO win in the first round. So that was Despain. And then Ryan Spann is one of those guys, he's beatable for sure. Sergey Spivak, I think, was probably his hardest opponent besides Brzeski. Brzeski wasn't really at that point yet. So I think Spivak was his toughest opponent that he won by unanimous decision. That was his last win in June of this year. So coming up against Pavlovich, I just had this feeling, and I went with Pavlovich, and I was right, which is crazy to me because I usually make the wrong fucking pick. So yeah, that was that fight. It was a pretty entertaining fight considering, you know, the heavyweights going to decision usually means it's not the best, but it was a good back and forth fight. You saw some good technique and you saw some good interactions there. And Pavlovich showing off some power, landing some good punches. He busted up Cortez's nose, and that seemed to bug him a lot in the later rounds. So yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good fight overall. I think in the moment I was a little bit tired, and I was feeling like it wasn't the best fight, I think, after it was over. But when I kind of watched back the highlights and I was thinking back to it, I was like, man, I feel like it was a pretty decent fight, actually. So I was kind of wrong on that one. But that brings us over to the co-main event, talking about the controversial talk of what we were talking about earlier with Brian Ortega. So yeah, Brian Ortega versus Aljamain Sterling. I picked Sterling because of Ortega's just inconsistency. And he's had problems with weight cut before. And he gets hit a lot. And for me, that's a big problem. Because he broke the Eagle's beak. Oh, yeah, with Cortez. Yeah, so Ortega gets hit a lot, and while I don't see Aljamain Sterling having a ton of power and finishing power, but he definitely can land punches, as we saw. His boxing looked crisp and fucking clean in this one, man. He was flipping those jabs out there and snapping Cortez, wrong person, Ortega's head back a lot. And while Ortega had kind of the like floppy hair going on, which probably made it look worse, you were still seeing his head fly back. And I felt like Aljamain just looked real good with his boxing on the inside. He started at one point winging punches, but I guess after he hit that spinning back elbow, it kind of killed his arm. He said that it must have hit a bad spot. It's fucking crazy blown up right now, and he said he can barely move his arm. So, and I saw a bunch of different reports about saying something about paralyzed and blah blah blah, but it was all just clickbaity shit talking about that his arm was basically paralyzed at the moment. Stupid way of putting that, but he definitely was having issues with his arm. He said he could barely bend it, and he was showing in the video how far he could go before it starts to hurt. Ortega was talking about the eagle regrowing its beak. Oh, see, I'm missing all of your I'm missing all of your I'm sorry, man. It's been a weird show so far. I'm not all there. I was thinking way too hard in the beginning of the show about that whole issue. So with all the banter back and forth, I used up all my brain power. I apologize. Usually I'm on top of these things, but yeah, you know, the chat, there's a little bit of a delay too, so you know, I always wonder, but I didn't actually hear Ortega say that. So Ortega said a lot of things leading up to this fight, and I just doubted him from the beginning. Unfortunately, like I said before, I'm a fan of Ortega. I've liked him for a while, but I don't like the way he handles things. I feel like, swear I heard knocking. Maybe not. So anyway, just the way that he fights is just reckless. He gets hit too much, and he takes too long to get started. And then when he finally gets started, he's been beat up so much it doesn't seem to matter. It's the dogs messing around. Oh, thank you. my wife is updating me on what happened. She must be listening. But anyway, so yeah, Ortega just was unimpressive. I wasn't expecting much out of him after the way he looked at the weigh-ins. That face-off where he walked up to Aljo, his hair's all messed up, his legs are shaky, and he's moving slow. You think he lost it after going through it with Tracy? It sounds like he was going through a lot at that point in time of his life, especially shortly after that. It sounded like he got back into kind of got back into some gangbanging and shit. Like maybe he got wrapped up in the wrong crowds and was out partying and stuff. Seems like the personal issues impacted him. Yeah, for sure. You're spot on with that one. And I think that he needs to focus and get locked in and maybe be open to changing some things. Switch it up with the teams. He claims to be a pseudo. I don't doubt it, because if you've seen the people he hangs out with, I don't doubt it. So, and if you've seen the way some pictures of him back in the day, you know, but a lot of people did crazy shit when they were younger. It is what it is. I just feel like he could be a lot better fighter. The jiu-jitsu game that he has would be so much better if he learned a little bit more defense and figures out a way to not get hit all the time. And maybe by doing that would be getting his boxing up there a little better, his kickboxing, I should say, because he doesn't seem to throw a lot of kicks, and when he does, they're not real effective. So he just has some work to be done. I think if he sat back and changed some things, he could have he could finish out his career in a better way. He's fought twice for the title and lost both times, but he at least gave Volkanovski a hell of a fight. There's my dogs barking again, so they must be just being rowdy right now. So yeah, that's all that can be said for Ortega. It sucks to see him in this state, going that far just to miss weight and all that shit. But Aljamain looked good. His boxing looked great. The wrestling and grappling looked good, but that's what Eljo's good at. He kept the pressure against the cage, and he stayed out of trouble on the ground. So in the end, he gets a big win, and it worked out for him. So it doesn't help though that it was a catch weight, so who knows, the UFC kind of has a vendetta against him for whatever reason. They don't like his style, they don't like this, they don't like that. There's always something with him. It was weird that this was a 5-round fight in the beginning. If they weren't getting paid more, it seems like they weren't, so that's a whole other issue that Eljo had a problem with. That might be why they don't like him much, because he speaks his mind, and unfortunately for the UFC, he's right most of the time. But people just don't like him, so we'll see where he goes from here. That brings us to the main event, so we can wrap this up. We got Johnny Walker versus Ming Yang Zhang Ming Yang, whichever way you want to say it. And yeah, this was a bit of an upset, because a lot of people had Zhang winning this fight, and it was a legitimate upset actually, because Johnny Walker was a plus 300 underdog, and Zhang was a minus 370 favorite, so that's crazy. Johnny Walker gets the performance of the night bonus. Man, those leg kicks he just killed Zhang with those leg kicks. That's what buckled Zhang in the first place. Man, fuck Zhang. Yeah, he cost you money, Mero. I understand that. But yeah, those leg kicks, those were killer. And Johnny Walker comes out with some high flying crazy shit, as you can tell with the big head kick here. He's constantly kicking, but that calf kick was killer, and he buckled Zhang with that. And as you could tell, Zhang couldn't stand up straight, and he hit him with another leg kick that dropped him, and then he jumped on top of him and finished him with some ground and pound and some elbows and shit. And that's all there could be said. Second round, 2 minutes and 37 seconds in. The first round was entertaining, and then we get to the second, and I feel like Zhang had the upper hand in the first round, but Johnny Walker came out strong in that second round and did his thing. Those leg kicks proved to be good. Zhang's legs are huge too, but you can see the red marks on his leg right there in that picture on the right, where he's got his leg bent on the ground. And yeah, I mean, those calf kicks are no fucking joke. So that's what cost him the fight, and we'll see what he learns from that and how he bounces back from it, because he's definitely still younger, and he was undefeated in the UFC. So the bounce back is always what lets you know what's going to happen. And sometimes they bounce back with another loss, but they turn it around, and sometimes they come back and get a big win and get back on that win streak. So Zhang has a lot of talent and promise. So I think he'll be all right. I think he'll bounce back, and we'll see some good fights out of him. As for Johnny Walker, what's he going to do next? Is he going to continue looking good as he did in this fight? He was coming off a 2-fight losing streak with losses to Magomed Ankalaev, the current champ, and Volkan Ozdemir. So those are tough opponents. He suffered 2 TKO losses in those, and now he got the win. Now he got the win by TKO in this fight against Zhang, a big opponent that people were, favored in quite a bit. So we'll see. A lot of times Johnny Walker goes on a couple fight, 2 or 3 fight win streak, and then loses a few. So that's kind of his pattern. We'll see if he keeps that up here. Let's take a look real quick at the fight wheel and see. Waldo Cortez Acosta, that was wrong. Nurajai, that was right. Ortega, that was wrong. Walker, that was right. Sumandarji, that was right. So 3 for 5, not too bad for the fight wheel predictions. As you know, those are all at random because I suck at picking, even though I've been picking for Combat Sports Today, and I just do that to go ahead and participate because they asked me to do picks, so I do them. And I didn't do too bad. I was 4 for 5 in this last week, so not too bad for me there. That'll wrap it up for that. And yeah, that's it for the show this week. A bit controversial, a bit of a different beginning. I'm gonna make sure I give Noctane a shout out real quick. My sponsor, Noctane Smelling Salts. Scan that QR code or hit the there's a link in the description below, and you can hit up their website. You can learn more about smelling salts. That's how I usually get ready for this show and keep myself awake and alert. Long drives, that's what I use it for too, because I drive a lot for work. And yeah, a lot of bodybuilders and weightlifters, power lifters use it for a quick rush of adrenaline. You can learn a lot if you go to their website. On their main page, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, it says proudly sponsoring the Going Rounds podcast. That's me, obviously. So yeah, I appreciate the sponsorship, Noctane. I didn't get to it in the beginning because we jumped right into the hot topic at the moment. So I appreciate everybody here that interacted, even if some of you, one in particular, was not the best. I still appreciate the interaction. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, so thank you guys for, most of you, for understanding my position on this and where I was coming from, and the fact that I was open-minded and willing to hear everybody out. So I appreciate you keeping it cool and speaking with me as a human and not just as a keyboard warrior, as some people like to do. So yeah, Terzi, thank you again for fact checking for me like you always do. Christian Flores Garcia, I'm sorry, man, that you lost. Zambiblor, thank you for all the interaction and jumping in. I think this is your first time here, or at least your first time in the chat, and I appreciated it. It was good interaction and brought up some really good points, and yeah, I just appreciate it. Haley Carmack, thank you for jumping in. I don't get a lot of women in here so that aren't my wife or daughter, so so thank you for jumping in as well, and some good takes and understanding and talking everything out. Terzi, as always, I'm not going to mention that person. Hamza Borz Chimaev, always jumping in. Appreciate you as well. And I think there was someone else in there at one point in time, but I'm not seeing it. So I'm just going to say thank you to everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you're not subscribed, please do. I appreciate the support and everything. Make sure you like this video as well and share it with somebody, and hit that notification bell too. Do all the good stuff for YouTube so you can help me grow the channel. I'd appreciate it. Thank you again for the support and the interaction. That's it for me. Come back on Thursday for my preview of all the upcoming events for Combat Sports. There is no UFC this weekend coming up, so I'll be covering some other events happening. So that's it for me. I'm out of here. Take it easy. Peace.